As I'm filming this right now, Florida has a hurricane going through it, but I'm in Orlando and it's not supposed to hit us directly, but we are getting those tropical storm winds and rain, so if it sounds chaotic, it's because I'm next to the window. But I think it serves as the perfect backdrop to talk about my Black Girl Fall TBR. If you don't know, TBR stands for To Be Read, and this is basically a list of books that you're hoping to read. Oh, and by the way, I'm Melizza, and this is my channel. In addition to the rain outside of the window, Zoe is here crunching, munching on her bone. So let's just prepare ourselves for random noises. I like to say that my favorite genre of books is Black girls on fantasy covers because, one, it's true, but two, it's very healing to see yourself represented in a story, in a place, in a world where you never thought you would. I didn't grow up with an excess of Black girl books on hand, and I'm so happy. And it is long overdue that we have these options and we are popularizing reading more diverse reads and highlighting more diverse authors so that more people can experience what it's like to see themselves in the center of a story, because that just hasn't been the case for so many people. So this video is dedicated to all my fellow Black girls who love to read books with ourselves as the main character, because we are, and for anyone who's hoping to diversify their TBR cart. By the way, a lot of the books that I'm about to show you I have featured in my bookstore shopping tour videos, so maybe you've seen them before, maybe you've heard a little bit about them, but I want to talk specifically about the ones that I am hoping to read for the fall season. Number one, The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. This is a part of a series, and I feel like it's a pretty popular series. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I'm hoping to start because I think that fall time is when fantasy books thrive. It's a cozy feeling outside. If you're in Florida like me, it's a wet season outside. And staying in comfy, cute pajamas, immersing yourself into somebody else's world sounds like a fun thing to do. Back reads, blending fantasy and science fiction, N.E. Davenport's fast-paced, action-packed debut kicks off a duology, so not a series, a duology, excuse me, of loyalty rebellion in which a young Black woman must survive. So there's definitely a conflict between the Republic of Marine and the armies of the Blood Emperor long ago. So this is a long-withstanding conflict that our main character has found herself caught up in. Her name is Ikenna. I'm assuming this is her. I love her look. She's so fierce. This is the energy I can only hope to have. Like, her grandfather, a former commander, has been murdered, and now she is going to avenge him. And girl, can she do it, because he has trained her in martial arts and she has the blood gift. In order to find out the truth about her grandfather and his murder, she has to enter the Praetorian Trials, a brutal initiation that only a quarter of the experienced survive. In these trials, she's gonna deal with racism, misogyny, and she has a power that if people find out about, she could be executed or worse. So she's definitely a strong Black girl main character. We're gonna see her go through it, and I'm excited to read this one. Speaking of strong Black girl main characters who we're gonna see go through it, another book I hope to read this fall is Their Vicious Games by Joelle Wellington. I'm really excited about this because it takes place in an academic setting, which fits fall so well. You know we all wanna walk around in our plaid pleated skirts, okay? It's fine. But the Black girl main character in this book, Adina Walker, is trying to get into a very prestigious university, Edgewater Academy, and this school is run by one of the oldest, aka scary and white, families in New England. And the only way she can get into the academy is by going through some vicious games. So I'm expecting it to get a little tense. I might have to cover the blanket over my eyes at points. In the games, there will be 12 young, ambitious women with exceptional promise and 3 mystery events, which I can only assume are going to get worse and scarier by the event. The Ride, The Raid, and The Royale. Oh, there's no way all 12 girls survive. And I bet I know who they're gunning for. Our main character. Her larger-than-life prize can only come at an even greater cost. This feels perfect for spooky season because I can't read thrillers. I get nervy and scared and can't sleep at night. But I do feel that this would be a great suspenseful read. I'm making myself a little nervous. Let's switch it up a little bit more lighthearted. This book I am so excited about. This is Sleep Like Death by Kaylin Bayron, and she is the author of one of my other favorite books, Cinderella is Dead. I think this is the next one in her fantasy retelling series because the back says Cinderella is dead, but Snow White fights on. This is a Snow White retelling, but she's black. I love it. Maybe I should say retelling loosely. I also feel very lucky to have the fairy loot version of this book because it's so beautiful. Eve is ready to be the Queen's sword, to be her vengeance. Princess Eve was raised with one purpose, to destroy the Knight. Knight with a K. An evil sorcerer who terrorizes Queensbridge with his wicked magic. Far too many of her subjects have been devastated by the Knight's trickery, but Eve's own unique magic, the ability to conjure weapons from nature, makes her a worthy adversary. I love the idea of that type of magic. That type of magic has so much potential. You're telling me she could just pull a weapon from like a blade of grass. That's wild. That also seems useful for her adventure. Another very strong black girl main character. She's 17 years old. She's ready to battle, but her queen is also her mother. And she's been acting bizarrely, talking to a strange mirror alone every night. It's the fairy tale elements for me. I'm a really big Disney fan. If you follow me on any of my other socials, I'm at Disney World. I'm watching all the movies. So I'm very excited to read all of the little Easter eggs in this book, which is something that Cinderella is Dead also had, which is probably why it's one of my favorite books. Eve girl, I am rooting for you, and I'm not gonna lie, this one's pretty high up on my Black Girl Fall TBR. Like, it's already on this shelf. That's how excited I am about it. Moving on to a series that, as I am filming this video, I am in the middle of. Amari and the Night Brothers! It's so good. I do not read a lot of middle grade. This is actually my first, like, full venture into a middle grade series as an adult, and she delivered. She delivered. I could not put the first book down, so much so that I immediately went and got the second and third books. I'm in the middle of this one right now, but I love the world. I really do. It makes me wonder if this is how people felt reading Harry Potter. I can't really talk about the other two without giving spoilers, so let's focus on the first one in the series, and you can decide if you want to pick it up, read it. I think you should. We follow Amari, who has a big brother named Quentin, and he's 10 years older than her, and she looks up to him, and they do everything together, and he suddenly disappears. Because of this, she's starting to have troubles at school, she starts acting out, and her single mother is just doing everything she can to support her family and to support Amari, but it's difficult. And then one night, a briefcase gets delivered to Amari from some rando guy in a crazy outfit. She learns that this briefcase has something to do with Quentin, her older brother, who's missing, who she believes is alive. Everybody else is like, girl, I hate to tell you, he's probably not coming back. But she doesn't believe that. Once the suitcase opens, she is exposed to a world she never knew about. The supernatural world where there are all of our favorite fantastical creatures. There are witches, there are sea monsters, there's the city of Atlantis, but there is also the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. They're a super secret, fantastical organization, and she believes that they have the key to finding her older brother, Quentin, so we see her infiltrate this bureau. I say infiltrate, but she was invited, don't worry. So we see her enter this bureau, go through their trials, meet some fun new characters, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't wanna spoil it for you. I want you to go on this journey. It's so good. I'm obsessed. I can't even lie. I really like this one, and I'm excited to get through the other two this fall. Also, I don't consider myself a fast reader, so I'm showing you all the books on my TBR. Hopefully, I will read most of them. We will see when the reading vlog starts to roll out. What else is on my Black Girl Fall TBR? You know what? I'm really excited about another kind of spooky, scary book. This is one of the newest books that I have picked up. It's called Escaping Mr. Rochester by L.L. McKinney. Look at the girls on the cover. First of all, gorgeous. Second of all, it's got that historical element, which is kind of filling that Bridgerton need in my brain, and I'm here for it. And from the synopsis, I believe this is a bit of a thriller. I don't know to what extent, and I don't want to know, which kind of makes me nervous, which then makes me more excited to find out. Let me read you a little bit about this book. Jane Eyre has no interest in a husband. Eager to make her own way in the world, she accepts the governess position at Thornfield Hall. Though her new employer, Edward Rochester, has a charming air, not to mention a handsome face, Jane discovers that his smile can sharpen in an instant. So this guy seems nice to look at, but terrifying on the inside, and I think he lives in a really creepy house, yeah, with corridors and suspicious secrets. Unaware of the true horrors lurking above her very head. Okay, great. This is, you know what? This sounds great for Halloween. And on the top floor of this scary house, we have Bertha Mason, who is trapped in more ways than one. After her whirlwind marriage to Edward turned into a nightmare, he locked her away as revenge for withholding her inheritance. Oh, great. These two girls are caught up in something truly terrifying. I am weirdly excited. This is not a type of genre that I lean towards, but it's always fun to expand your horizons when their only chance at safety and perhaps something more is in each other's arms. Perhaps something more. Okay, so they are going to work together to get out of a truly terrible situation. Keeping up with the darker vibes. Guys, normally I'm reading like hee-hee-ha-ha rom-coms or adventure fantasies, which there have been a couple in here, but books are a fun way to lean into the spooky element. We've got another one from Kaylin Bayron, You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. I believe this was released last year, and I haven't read it because I was going to read it last October, didn't make it around to it, and now that this October is here, sounds like the perfect time. Oh, and the bookmark from the place where I got it. I love it. I'm the final girl, guaranteed to survive the night. Charity, I assume this is her, has the summer job of her dreams playing the final girl at Camp Mirror Lake. Guests pay to be scared in this full contact terror game as Charity and her summer crew recreate scenes from the classic slasher film, The Curse of Camp Mirror Lake. The more realistic the fear, the better for business. Girl, the writing is on the wall. But on the last weekend of the season, Charity's coworkers begin disappearing, and when one ends up dead, Charity's role as the final girl suddenly becomes all too real. If Charity and her girlfriend Bezzy hope to survive the night, they'll need to figure out what the killer is after. As they unravel the bloody history of the real Mirror Lake, Charity discovers that there may be more to the story than she ever suspected. I get it. She's not supposed to die tonight, but she might, which is terrifying enough for me. This feels like it would lean more middle grade than young adult. And apparently I'm in my middle grade bag, so I'm excited about this one. And the last book on my fall Black Girl TBR is The Poisons We Drink. Look at her hair. It's pink and it's stunning. I love when Black girls have bright, colorful hair. It just looks so good. I am so excited. The cover was enough to convince me to get this book, but the story is why I stayed. In a country divided between humans and witchers, Venus Stoneheart hustles as a brewer, making illegal love potions to support her family. A businesswoman, we love it. Love potions are a dangerous business. Brewing has painful, debilitating side effects, and getting caught means death or prison sentence. But what Venus is most afraid of is the dark, sentient magic within her. Our girl's got an internal struggle. When an enemy's iron bullet kills her mother, jeez. I don't know why I laughed just then. Keeping her reckless little sister Janice safe is now her responsibility. When the powerful Grand Witcher, the ruthless head of her coven, she's a witch, offers Venus the chance to punish her mother's killer, she has to pay a steep price for revenge. The cost? Brew poisonous potions to enslave DC's most influential politicians in order to pass legislation that will protect witchers for years to come. As Venus crawls deeper into the corrupt underbelly of her city, the line between magic and power blurs, and it's hard to tell who to trust, herself included. Ooh! Oh my gosh, wait, I knew I was gonna love this book, first of all. Secondly, I am so excited. I feel like this is a great time for The Poisons We Drink, and she has officially moved up on my TBR. These are just some of the books that I am excited to read this fall that all have Black girl main characters. Hopefully I've inspired you. Hopefully there's one that you may want to read as well. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you can catch these in some upcoming reading vlogs. This is Zoe, by the way. And until my next video, bye.